been a while since I've actually been out here in the morning. I've recorded a bunch of these videos and not posted them, so that's not the greatest. I'm thinking about failure and success, because where I stand when I do these videos is my backyard farm area, and it's just the site of failure after failure. This thing right here, this is an aquaponics grow bed that I built about 10 years ago, and I had a kid's above ground swimming pool just on the other side here, and I'd stocked that with a couple of goldfish, and it turns out I was able to get them to breed, which was interesting. But I ended up moving to Florida temporarily, and this area was, the house and the area I'm in were abandoned for several years. We'd come back occasionally, but mostly the house was just empty, and so everything just went fallow. The vines took over, and the birds ate the fish, and that was that. So that was a failure. I had quail. I was keeping quail, and I redid their cages, and obviously once you know the end of the story, the way I had built them was not secure enough, and cats got in and had a nice meal out of some quail, which the meal was supposed to be for me. But that was another failure. I have my chickens that were over here, those guys right there, and a couple weeks ago something got in and took out the last 3 that I had. It's just failure after failure. But I'm a big fan of, not as a person, but of his philosophy, Winston Churchill. And Churchill gave a famous speech to a graduating class, basically saying never give up. And I think he repeated that 3 times, and that was the whole speech. The story goes that when he was questioned about it, he said, "I told them everything they need to know." He's absolutely correct. I see it all the time in business, in the tax world. You only have to be right once in your whole life. And maybe you want to extend that to once per dimension, once per area of the chain that makes up your life. If you're right once in relationships, you find the person that you can spend your life with. If you want once right in career and business, you have to write once for any particular thing, because the success in any field so vastly outweighs the failures that you only need one. On the backyard farm part, I am on to my next iteration, and that's going to be this thing here. So that I got that idea from my buddy Brandon. What I was originally going to do was to build a pole shed here and enclose it and put metal roofing on it and everything. And I priced that out, and that was going to be about $1,200 for all the materials, and then my own labor would be free. And then I saw that my friend Brandon had set one of these up where this is just a portable garage, or not portable garage, a portable carport kit, which is like $150. So a fraction of the cost. And it goes together pretty easily. I just need to put the tarp on the roof and then put the wire fencing on the sides, and we should be good to go. I'm thinking about putting wire fencing underneath the tarp on the top. Not sure about that or not, but knocking stuff over. And then that's going to be the new coop, and I'm going to have quail cages and rabbit cages in there hanging from the top, and then we'll have a little racket house and polyface Joel Salatin style. But I got to get everything prepared. I got to get brooders set up for baby chicks, and I would love to just buy laying pullets, but they're typically hard to find. But that may have changed over the last couple of years since the last time I looked. A lot of people thought they would do chickens with being home from COVID, and then turned out to not be so enthralled with it. That's the story I've gotten from people, but I have not actually checked the market myself. Yeah, it's a good lesson for life, I think, that you keep failing until you succeed. When you learn to walk, you keep falling down until you learn to walk. And it's the willingness to embrace that, I think, that separates successful people from less successful people. Because it's painful to get knocked down in whatever field you're dealing with. It's painful to go through breakups. It's painful to go through jobs that aren't a good fit for you. painful to start your own businesses that don't work out, but you have to keep going until you find the thing that works. So that's what's on my mind for today.